Right now, joining us on the KDON Live Line is Kevin Richards, Tech News with Kevin Richards Time. Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Alan. Always good to be here.
Kevin, of course, discusses all things digital and internet related. Also, by way of disclosure, of course, they created my website, which is beautiful, I think. You know, it's absolutely gorgeous. Got a new poll up there, by the way, about how the president should be handling the Ukraine situation. So go to the website and take that poll and see what you think. Maybe it'll help the president make up his mind. All right, let's talk about some of the things going on. The biggest thing in mind, and you know, I've talked off the air about this, and I'm just flummoxed by it. What's happening with the U.S. relinquishing control over ICANN? I just cannot believe it.
Well, it is a pretty big deal, and you were right to be, bringing it up. What's happening is the way the Internet works is it has something called the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. And what that means is the Internet is basically a set of a lot of different servers, and those servers are identified in a certain way, and the ICANN is what makes it easy for us to find those servers. So, for example, if you type in alanstock.com, what's happening is you're sending that request up to a different server. It translates alanstock.com into a set of numbers. It then touches your server, gets the information packets, and sends it back to you. So what's happening here is the U.S. has signaled that in 2015, we're going to release the control that we have over that particular corporation. And the problem that's been brought up about that is we're signaling that we're going to do that, but we don't have a clear succession plan in place. And the other issue that's been brought up is that we don't really know what the other countries who are going to be having an influence are going to do with that control that they're suddenly going to have.
Well, that's true, and the fact that we are giving it up, could mean we're going to be paying for it, but the fact that we're going to give up control over something that we created makes no sense to me at all.
Well, it's true, and a lot of people don't realize the history of the Internet. Alan, if I ask you who created the Internet, who's the answer to that?
Al Gore.
Actually not, shockingly enough. It was the Department of Defense. And they started it out with a tool called ARPANET, and out of a group called ARPANET. And basically, what it is the neat thing about the Internet is that if one computer breaks along the way, you can still access that information. So it's a big series. It's a web. And so this has actually been going on, you're right, since 1968. And it was definitely our Department of Defense that created it. And you're right. Why are we giving up that control?
Well, that's what I want to know, because again, American exceptionalism created it, and this is another case, I think, of us just saying we don't have to be exceptional anymore. Let's just be one of the crowd, and I think this is a horrible thing that is happening, and I'm really disappointed in the president and this administration for going in this direction. And will this have any impact on those of us, aside from the fact that it could be charging stuff like that, any other impact on us using the Internet to research information at any point?
Well, I think you're right. I think that it is sad that we're giving up that leadership role, and it is a situation where I don't think it's necessarily going to have any impact on us. I think that we're still the leaders. I think we've still got the biggest and the best Internet companies out there, and they're going to be able to ensure that we do still have that free and open Internet.
All right. You think it is. All right. I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I'm not as convinced. And when is this supposed to take place, by the way?
Well, what they're saying is that they're going to relinquish that control in 2015. So I don't think there's an exact timeline for what's going to happen. But I think the point of what I'm trying to say is that the way the Internet works, because it doesn't rely on just one path, there's not just one highway that we all drive on. It's a series of connected paths. So if a nation decides they're going to block information, like it's happened before, other nations block access to things like YouTube, that doesn't matter. That doesn't affect us. They can do what they want to do. We can still access the information that we want to access.
All right. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Again, I'm not too crazy about this. Let's see. Gmail, I understand, is making it easy for you to stop getting spam. How are they doing that?
So Gmail is taking, they've always been criticized for maybe taking too close of a look at your emails. But Gmail is a huge email processor, and they're able to see thousands of messages per second go through their systems. And with that knowledge, they're able to figure out which messages are maybe spammy or are just things that you don't want to see in your inbox. And they put those over into a specific spot of your inbox, and that is called your promotions tab. And we've talked about that a couple months ago when they first rolled that out. Now what they're doing is they're taking it a step further, and when they identify that something is junk mail or spam, they actually are giving you the opportunity to click a single button and unsubscribe from those emails.
Really? Wow.
Making it really easy. And now what they say is that they're not going to offer the button on everything. If they can't identify whether it's a true spammer, if it's a true spammer, you never want to let them know that your email address is real, because then suddenly you're on 1,000 more lists and your inbox just keeps getting flooded with junk. But if it's a known entity, if it's somebody you know that we all know and recognize, and you're just tired of hearing from them, you don't have to jump through 20 hoops anymore to unsubscribe. You just trust Gmail, click one button, and you're good to go.
All right, got a lot more to talk to you about, so I want you to stick with us if you would. I'm talking with Kevin Richards. This is our Tech News with Kevin Richards segment that we do every Friday, and you can find more out about Kevin, by the way, at Ventura Web Design, which you can access by going to allenstock.com and hitting that icon on the right-hand side of the page that says Ventura Web Design. We're talking with Kevin Richards, our Tech News with Kevin Richards segment, and again, Kevin, appreciate you being with us this morning.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about this controversy going on with Yelp about reviewing businesses. This could damage them big time. Kind of skewing how reviews are done or at least portrayed. Tell me about this.
Well, as you know, we work with a lot of small businesses, and a big important part of your online presence as a small business is your online reputation. And Yelp has made their entire business model about helping you control and focus on that message that people see. It's obviously directed at people who've never been at your establishment before. So here's the thing. A lot of people can post on Yelp, and Yelp then, as part of their quality control, they try to decide whether or not those posts that people write about your business are actually real and relevant, or maybe whether they're your best friend from fifth grade writing up a review about you. Obviously, they don't want to show that one. Or maybe it's a really upset customer that just has never posted on Yelp before and decided they're going to post about you, in a really derogatory way. Yelp tries to filter those out.
Okay.
So the thing is, that filtering system maybe can also be used to encourage small businesses to advertise with Yelp. And that's what it's really coming down to. People are complaining that the good reviews that they have are being hidden unless you're an advertiser with Yelp.
So that's weird. Hiding good reviews of businesses because they don't advertise with their particular platform. This is what it's come down to. I mean, that really does call into question the credibility of Yelp.
Well, exactly, and for example, Google. Everybody thinks that if I advertise with Google, that'll put me at the top of the search engines. Well, that's only true because they also put their advertisements at the top of the search engine. Google is all about maintaining their credibility, and Yelp definitely has a problem with their own credibility, and it's a question of who's really using Yelp, who is Yelp good for, and Yelp is actually a decent product. It's a great way for local businesses to have a good presence on the internet. Yahoo just released a partnership with Yelp to utilize their data. Bing's been in a partnership for a year and a half, and Google doesn't actually have a partnership with Yelp. They have their own product, of course. But basically, the concept is we want to get all local businesses on the internet, but Yelp seems to be having a problem doing that in a positive and credible way.
Wow. All right, real quickly, I don't have a lot of time, but tell me about what this transparent texting is all about. Apple's got this new patent and about a rear camera. What is transparent texting?
Well, it's kind of cool. So you've probably seen the jokes, the commercials, whatever. Somebody's texting, somebody's looking at their phone. I think even Sheriff Gillespie did a public service announcement. I think he said, "Get your face out of your phone." And the concept is, you're paying attention to your phone, you're stepping out in traffic, you're falling down manholes, without the cover on. So Apple's identified that as a problem, and you have the iPhone 5S, right? You've got the latest phone.
I do.
Okay, so you not only have a front-facing camera that's looking at you while you're looking at the screen, you also have a rear-facing camera. So what Apple has done is they've filed for a patent because, of course, we have to protect ourselves from all the patent trolls of the world. And so Apple's filed for a patent, and what the patent says is they're going to use a rear-facing camera, and then they're going to display what it sees in a transparent way underneath your screen. So you're going to have the effect of being able to see through your phone and not have your vision blocked by whatever you're looking at.
Wow. Okay. And when does that go into effect?
Well, of course, it's just a patent. They've just filed for it, so it doesn't mean they're actually going to implement it or use it as part of their product. They're just protecting the idea at this point.
Oh, okay. Because I like my iPhone by the 5. It really I'm learning it. I'm learning all the aspects to it.
Are you one of those guys? I can't picture you walking around town with your face in your phone.
No, I don't. No, I don't do that. No, I no. And when I text, I sit down and do real quickly, boom, and that's it. I can't. No, I don't get that either. I do see people, you're right, walking around and their faces in their phone constantly, and they're constantly looking at stories, I guess, or maybe emails or texting and back and forth, and it's just like, I say get a life.
Well, my younger employees are great at it. They can, they've always got their eyes on their screen. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a good product for them. So it's one of those neat new things that's trying to solve a problem.
All right. I mean, listen, I'm coming into the next century, but, kicking and screaming. What can I say? Kevin Richards, you can find him at Ventura Web Design. Where do you find Ventura Web Design? Go to allenstock.com. On the right-hand side of the page, you'll see the logo that says Ventura Web Design. And click onto that. You'll be able to get in touch with Kevin, and they do an absolutely great job. Hey, listen, thank you very much for taking the time to join us this morning. I appreciate it, and we will do it again next week.
I always love being with you, Alan. Thanks so much.
Take good care. Kevin Richards from Ventura Web Design joining us on News Talk 720 KDWN.